smoothly. I'm going to start my inspection with my steering shaft. The steering shaft is properly connected to two U-joints, one in the front, one in the back, and they're properly greased. The steering shaft does not have more than 2 inches or 10 degrees of free play. That's how you do it, shake. Now, the gearbox. The gearbox is properly mounted to the frame. It's not bent, broken, or cracked. It has no missing parts and no leaks. Now, I have two hoses connected to the gearbox. If I follow this hose, it'll take me to the power steering reservoir or power steering tank, which is properly mounted, properly capped, proper level, and it's not leaking. If I follow this hose inspector, it'll take me to the power steering pump that's properly mounted under the engine. Power steering pump is properly mounted under the engine, it's gear driven, and it's not leaking. Now, inspector, hold on, give me a prende el camión y gira la llanta. He's gonna turn the wheel. So, this is my pitman arm. Let me know you're ready. This is my pitman arm, drag link, and steering arm. Pitman arm, drag link, and steering arm. And they're properly connected to the gearbox with castle nuts and cotter pins. Now, inspector, we're going to inspect the suspension system. The function of the suspension system is to support the weight of the vehicle and keep it in proper balance. Inspector, I'm going to start with my spring hanger, spring mount. This is the spring hanger for the front. Spring hanger, spring mount, which is properly mounted to the frame. It's not been broken or cracked. It has no missing parts. In the front, I have two. I have one up here, and I have one back here that you can't see. Now, inspector, the leaf spring is properly connected to the spring hanger in the front as well as in the back. I have no shifting leaves, I have no missing leaves, and I have no broken leaves because in the center, I have two U-bolts which are holding the leaf spring tightly to the axle with proper bushing. Understand how that works, right? Now, the shock absorber is properly mounted to the frame. It's not been broken or cracked, and it's not leaking. All right, we're finished with the suspension system. Now, inspector, this is my air compressor. The function of the air compressor is to supply compressed air to the systems. Air compressor is properly mounted to the engine. It's not been broken or cracked, has no missing parts. It's gear driven, and it has no audible leaks. Now, coming down this way, we're going to talk about the brake hose and ABS line. The brake hose and ABS. The brake hose is always thicker than the ABS line. So the brake hose and ABS line are properly connected to the brake chamber. They're properly clamped. They have no abrasion bubbles or cuts, and they're not leaking. Now the ABS line does have a sensor, so the sensor doesn't have any exposed wires, no cut cables. Now the brake chamber is properly mounted. It's properly clamped, has no dents, and no audible leaks. The push rod and slack adjuster, are properly connected to the brake chamber. They have no missing parts, and I shouldn't be able to pull on the push rod more than an inch when the brakes are released. Now, you guys got to look inside so you guys can see it. But the brake drum, I think it's right over here. Yeah, good right here. The brake drum is not been broken or cracked. Has no signs of oil or grease and no brewing from overheating. Now the brake pads inside. They're properly mounted to the brake drum. They're not been broken or cracked. No signs of oil or grease. And the minimum thickness on the pads is no less than a quarter of an inch. No less than a quarter of an inch thickness. All right, now the inner rim has not been broken or cracked, no illegal welding repaired. The inner sidewall has no abrasion, bubbles, or cuts, good condition. Top of the tire is evenly worn. Tread depth 432 and recap is not allowed. Now, outer sidewall of the tire has no abrasion. Outer side wall of the tire has no occasional bubbles or cuts, good condition. The outer rim has not been broken or cracked, nor even holding repairs. The lug nuts, they're all present. No, there is shininess and rust. I report that to maintenance, but I have no missing lug nuts. Normally, you will say no signs of shiny.